after her guardian Imperial Knight is slain by the Sith Darth Talon. Princess Sia Fel and her companion Astral Val seek passage to the planet Vendaxa aboard the ship the Minok. On Vendaxa, they hope to rendezvous with friends who will help the princess return to her father, the Emperor in exile, Rowan Fel. Sia is unaware, however, that the crew of the Minok, including its captain Cade Skywalker, are bounty hunters, who have their own plans for her and her father. Yet none of them realize that on Vendaxa, their troubles will be just beginning, nor that they are being trailed by the Sith, but not all of the Sith. Korriban, the homeworld and the graveyard of the Sith. Peace is a lie. There is only passion. Through passion I gain strength. Through strength I gain power. Through power I gain victory. Through victory my chains are broken. The Force shall free me. Dark Lords who have gone before, whose malevolent wisdom lies sealed within these holocrons. Again I summon you. I open my mind to your teachings. Now open the secrets of your power. So, the would-be Sith returns. My knowledge is not for you. You are not a Sith, pretender, nor are your rabble. This was my lesson. 2 Sith should there be, no more. One holding power, one desiring it. You defy my teachings. I have improved on it. Instead of 2, there is now only 1, the Sith Order itself. I have recreated the Sith Lord Bane, as you once did. I have given it a purpose. For what use is power without one? Power is its own purpose. To share it is to dilute it. You delude yourself, pretender. Your order will yet turn on itself, and you. The heretic comes for the same reason it came last time. Its body is failing. It fears that which is consuming it. So we see Darth Krayt using Sith holocrons to summon what I assume is the consciousness or the essence of past Sith, and these are the holocrons that he used to learn the ways of the dark side. It's cool to see this idea be implemented in this story because this is something that I've thought about for a while now. People bringing back the teachings of the Sith that they have learned through holocrons that they have found. And since Darth Krayt is dying of some sort of infection, he turned to the dark side to aid him. And something that I have noticed is the design of Darth Krayt's armor, as well as some of the other stuff that the other Sith are wearing, and their sabers, are reminiscent of the designs for the weapons and armor of the Yuuzhan Vong. But after this, let's jump to Vendaxa, with the crew of the Minok and the princess. They're defending themselves from these creatures native to the planet, and then they're saved by a couple of Jedi. Astral's brother and Cade's old master. And I'm glad that they reunited so quickly. That way we can get to some interesting interactions between these characters. But before that, they're attacked by Darth Talon. And I really like how in the Imperial Empire, there are Force users who are trained in the ways of the Jedi, like the Imperial Knights and the Princess. But it is in this fight that Cade reveals the truth that he is a Force user and a Jedi, which adds some more conflict between him and his crew. And Astral, trying to contact the Empire for help, alerts Krayt of their location, because the person she goes to for help is actually in league with Krayt. One must change with the times. The mission has always been at the service to the Emperor. A change in Emperor simply means finding new ways to be of service. And the plan is essentially to use the daughter of the Emperor to lure him out and kill them both. But the Emperor can see through these things. He understands that this is a trap. He's not going to fall for it. It's me Krayt wants. This is a trap and Sia is bait. There will be no rescue mission, Draco. But Master, this is your daughter. I know who she is. I love my daughter, but the fate of the Empire, of the galaxy, is at stake. No rescue. My word is final. Antares, I'm sorry. I'm with you, but we have sworn an oath of loyalty, and the Emperor has spoken. I know, Ganna, but is loyalty always the same as obedience? This setting, as well as the Old Republic, really amplify the idea that Star Wars is a sci-fi fantasy. We have these knights who are sworn to the Emperor, but they're gonna disobey his orders to rescue the princess. And obviously Antares is doing this out of the love he has for her. And the other knights are gonna go along with that because they respect him. And as Cade is repairing his ship and the Jedi are on guard waiting for Talon to attack, we get this conversation between Cade and his old master. Cade, the Force is too powerful in you for you to just walk away. Healing me like you did was not something you were taught. You did that by instinct alone. Like my instinct to tap into all the fear and rage I had in me, I walked in the dark side that day, Master. I saw my father's body lying in the rubble and had to leave it there. The pirates laughed. All the mighty Jedi there were dead. And they said, where was their ally? The Force, now. Should have asked me. I could have told them. It's with the Sith. The Force is always with those who use it. How you use it defines who you are. And then we get some conflict between Cade and the rest of the crew of the Minok, mainly between him and Sin. And the argument escalates to the point where Sin pulls a blaster on Cade and goes to shoot him, and Cade just uses the Force to throw it aside. Then he goes to have a pretty interesting conversation with the princess. I may be the only person here who understands you. I have a legacy too, and I'm just as trapped by mine as you are by yours. Sometimes I wish I could just change my name, make a new life. Go ahead, it's a big galaxy. Not big enough. You recognize me, and so would others. They'd use me, as you were going to do, to get to my father, like the Sith are trying to do. I said I understood you, Cade Skywalker, but I am not you. I envy your freedom, but I'm not walking away from my responsibilities. The Sith are evil. It's the Empire's and my father's shame that we ever allied with them. We must make it right. Eventually, we must all strike back at our fears. Wise words from the princess, but this really reminds me of Memory, Sorrow and Thorn, in that you have the main character Simon, who is a kitchen boy, who runs around causing trouble, climbing on rooftops, doing whatever he wants, and the princess Miriam L sees him and envies the freedom he has. And now we get to see Imperial Knights and Jedi team up against the Sith. Your master is a greater fool than you, if he thinks Emperor Fel would fall into your clumsy trap. He saw Krait's hand in this. Perhaps he is more powerful than you know. Run, Sith, while you still have the chance. My master's patience is exhausted. Take the princess. Darth Krayt will tear the location of her father's hiding place from her. Slay the rest. Carrion for Vendax's scavengers. We get a rematch of Cade's master and Darth Nihil, and a duel between Shadow and Talon. And all of this is causing Cade to have flashbacks to the first issue. And we have this great moment with the princess questioning why the knights are there, going against their father's orders. What are you thinking, Draco? That the person I care about more than my vows as a knight, than my fealty to your father, than my loyalty to the Empire, was in danger. I was thinking of you. I love you, Seer. I know. Fucking classic Star Wars right there. And that is serious fantasy vibes of this knight who is in love with the princess. And I wonder if his vows are similar to the old ways of the Jedi where he's not allowed to have those sorts of connections. Or at the very least, he's not allowed to have a romantic relationship with the Emperor's daughter. And the princess actually comes to Cade's rescue and saves him from being killed from behind, and gets a mortal wound in the process, causing Cade to take up her lightsaber and join the fight. And the princess, in her mind, is doing this to atone for the fact that the Empire allied with the Sith, which caused the death of Cade's father and many of the Jedi. Princess Seer Fel lies wounded at the hands of Darth Talon and Darth Nihil. The Sith hope to draw out her father, the deposed Emperor and leader of the Resistance, against Darth Krayt's new galactic regime. Instead, they have drawn the wrath of the Imperial Knights. Together with the crew of the Minok, who are transporting the princess to safety, and the Jedi, Shadow Val and Wolf Sazin, the Imperials engage the Sith in deadly combat. Soon, Cade Skywalker, captain of the Minok, finds himself face to face with the same Sith who murdered his father. Having abandoned his Jedi heritage for the life of a bounty hunter, Skywalker suddenly brandishes a lightsaber for the first time in years. I was trained as a Jedi. I was on Ossus. I watched you kill my father. I killed many Jedi that day. Perhaps your father was one. My father was Cole Skywalker. Vengefulness is not a Jedi trait, boy. Yeah, well, I'm a pretty nasty Jedi. You cannot defeat him with anger, Cade. That is a Sith weapon. And we get more of Cade tapping into the dark side when they escape on the Minok. With the princess near death, Cade wants to try and save her life like he did with his master. Cade, if the Force wills the princess die here, today, then who are you to stop her death? How do you know it isn't the will of the Force that I save her? Because to do it, you must touch the dark side. You're not accepting the will of the Force, you're imposing your own. You cannot live in the light if you keep pulling the shadows around you. Would the princess want to live if she knew this took you so close to the dark side? And this idea of imposing your own will on the Force, that 100% is the way of the Sith. Not only are we seeing that with Darth Krayt, where he wants to use the Force to extend his life and heal himself, but that goes all the way back to Darth Plagueis, where he's trying to do similar things and he's referring to the Force as a beast of burden, where you are imposing your will on the Force. And after Cade taps into the dark side and brings the princess back from the brink of death, we see that Cade has tapped so far into the dark side that he is resembling a Sith. He's got a Sith eye, and I feel like this is just foreshadowing for his story going forward, especially with how this ends. But they all end up getting back to Bastion, but Cade has decided to leave, giving Shadow and Wolf a ride out of there. Emperor Fel did offer the Jedi to join forces with them, but because of their allegiance with the Sith in the past, which led to the Jedi Purge, they don't really feel comfortable with siding with the Emperor. And this first chapter ends with Crate learning about Skywalker, learning about his ability to heal people using the Force. Talon is sent to retrieve Cade and bring him back to Crate. And with Cade tapping into the dark side, I do feel like we're going in a direction of him actually becoming a Sith, joining Crate. Maybe not permanently, but I do have a feeling that him and Talon are gonna have some sort of romantic relationship. One, because she's a babe, and two, I feel like that would be a good way to manipulate him into joining Crate. I'm excited to see where his story goes, as well as the Princess and the Imperial Knights and the Empire. All of that stuff is really awesome. They've done a great job establishing these different factions, establishing the setting, setting up everything for the story ahead. And this whole first volume covers mostly Cade Skywalker's journey, and then the second volume is a descendant of Han Solo and Princess Leia. And this is the end of the first chapter. Thank you for joining me with my journey through it, and I hope you stick around for many more chapters to come. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.